Hi, I'm Celeste, and this is another 10 minutes of history from the Balboa Island Museum. So we're going to continue our talk about time here, and if you didn't catch the last 10 minutes, this pretty much came out of this Orange County Register article from January 27th, 2014, called Defining Time. And this reporter did a really nice job of going through and talking about how we got the names for the days of the week and the months of the year. And so I just thought it was interesting to pass on. I obviously have kept this is 2020, all this time, because I thought it was interesting. And I wrote a talk that I gave to the community that was basically based on this piece of paper, then went forward with my Word Origins book and pulled out a whole bunch of other things, which is what I talked to you about in the last 10 minutes. So if you didn't catch that one, you might want to see that one too. And then I have my disclaimer after 8 years of Spanish that I don't really speak Spanish, and then that I learned French in 1 week listening to this video. And we'll do it, there'll be a couple French and Spanish things because a lot of the words come out of the Romance languages here. So we're gonna start with days of the week. So what they never told you in school is that the days of the week are based on the sky. The planets in the sky, our moon, and a very important star in the sky. So we start with Monday, and this is where knowing Spanish or French comes in handy too. So Monday is lunes, of course, and luna, of course, means moon. So it just goes straight into that. If you're in Russia, the Slavic languages, the word for Monday just means the day following Sunday. But here we do this that way. Just to go back a second, what happened is that the Anglo-Saxons, they borrowed the Roman, or inherited their system of naming these things. And so when they came into power in Britain, they took those Roman words and they translated it into their own language. And so basically these are named after gods, which the planets are named after, and they translated them out. So Monday, just a straight up one. But then we get into Tuesday. So in Tuesday in Spanish, we have Martes, and that's just Mars. So we have the planet Mars. Mars is the god of war. And in German, the Germanic languages, their god of war is Tui. And so we get Tui's Day. So it's just a direct cross to Mars, which is the god of war, and Tui, the god of war. Wednesday, Miércoles in Spanish means Mercury, of course, the planet Mercury, and the association of the god in the Germanic languages is Woden, so we get Woden's Day, and so Miércoles, Mercury, Woden's Day. So that gives us Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday, Jueves in Spanish, Jupiter, just a direct line to Jupiter. Jupiter is the god of the sky, the Roman god of the sky. The modern one is Thor, so that's the Germanic one is Thor. So we get Thor's Day, and straight from Jueves, Jupiter, Thor's Day. Friday is Viernes, always forget that one, in Spanish. And that's just a direct relation to Venus, the planet Venus, the goddess Venus, and the Germanic goddess of love and marriage is Frigg. And so we get Frigg's Day, Friday, straight up from Venus. That's those two. Then we come to Saturday and Sunday. So if you know Spanish, Saturday, Sábado, that's the Sabbath, so the day of rest. We did not keep that. When the Anglo-Saxons came in and they changed that to Saturday, which is obviously Saturn. So we go straight to that. And then Sunday in Spanish is Domingo, the Lord's Day. And of course, we didn't keep that one either. We went straight to the sun, so our closest star, Sunday. So that's those. So now we get to the months of the year, which takes a little longer. There's a bug. Months of the year. So the Julian calendar was only 10 months long. There were still 365 days, but they were divided into 10 months. And of course, that's Julius Caesar put that one together. So the interesting thing about this, and if you speak Japanese, you know that in Japanese and in some other languages, the months are just numbered. So it's month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, 5. Under the Julian calendar, our months were just simply numbered 1 through 10. And we still have 4 of them that are just straight up numbers today. And those 4 are September, October, November, and December, which is greatly goes completely back to their Greek roots. So of course September 7, October is 8, of course. So we have like an octopus, 8 legs, 8 octane, 8 carbon atoms, octagon, 8 sides. We get to November, of course, the root word is not from 9, November, and then December, 10, dec, everything that's dec, decimal. Dime comes from the word 10. Decimate. Decimate's an interesting word. Decimate means to destroy 1/10. And so early on when you paid taxes, you destroyed 1/10 of your income. You got cut off 1/10 of your income and you gave it off to somebody else. So that's those. Let's see here. And then we come into the other months of the year. So we have the first month of the year when they were numbered on the Julian calendar is March. And so March, again, we go back to the god of war, Mars. Now, you had to have the month where you went to war was going to be March because you didn't want to go to war in the snow. So we started our year with war and we started it in March. The second month of the year was April, and that's straight up from Aphrodite. And then it gets translated into the, so for us, it's the month of Venus, and it's Abril at that time. The third month is May, Mayo, and that's from the old French Mai, the Latin Magnus. And again, Magnus just means big. So we have May, big, meaning big growth, when plants start to grow, and we have animals that are being born at that time. So the whole earth sort of regenerates itself in May. And so we have that word that comes out of Mai. June, from of course, the Roman Juno, goddess of women in marriage. And so that's kind of fun to know that June is directly related to marriage because so many people get married in June. Of course, the weather's good, so there's another reason. But that's kind of nice that it goes back to the actual goddess and Juno. So 5 July, Julio, it was originally 5, and then Julius Caesar, after he is killed, so if you know your history or your Shakespeare, after his friends killed him, they decided to honor him with a month, and so they named the 5th month after him. I think this is really interesting, that up until the 18th century, so up until the 1700s, July was actually pronounced Julie. So if you have a friend like I do named Julie, you could tell her that month was actually pronounced Julie instead of July. And since anything with a Y on the end, you could change it to an IE. That's what happened. The 6th one, Augusto, named by the Romans for Augustus, the Emperor Augustus. He was alive when they renamed this month, and I read a story that said he wanted his month to be longer than Julius Caesar's, and so he stole 2 days from February. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it's a good story, and I would love to be able to verify that. There's got to be a reason that February is short. I don't know what else the other one would be. Emperor Augustus lived from 63 BC to 14 AD, and he had that month named after him in 8 BC. What's it back here? Pope Gregory the 13th is the one who put together the Gregorian calendar after the Julian calendar. It's still 365 days, but he fixed it, basically. He divided the year up into 12 months, and then he added the leap year. So we have that leap year every 4 years, except for on the century, and that evens us out. Otherwise, our seasons would be all messed up and would be at different times of the year. So we have to have a little catch up there, and that's what our leap year allows us to do. He added, because now we have 12 months, he added 2 months, and the first month that he added was January, so then we started off our year with January. January is named after Janus, the Roman god. He's the Roman god of doorways, and the interesting thing about him is he had one head, but he had two faces, and so one face looked back to the previous year, and then his other face looked forward to the coming year. And so that was Janus, and that's how we get January. And then they added February. There was already this festival that basically was around February 15th, and it was the festival of forgiveness and purity. And that was the festival of Febra. And so from that, we get the word February, which just basically means to purify, because that was what that festival was about, to purify. And that's where we get that strange spelling of February, by the way. Probably when you were a kid, that was the hardest month for you to spell, because it's got that R in there that you don't expect, February. And so because it came out of that Latin word, that word for purity, that's what happened there. So how much time do we have left, Rick? Almost done? Okay. We're going to segue into our next segment, which is going to be about the history of Halloween. I'm just going to tell you real quick, because we're right at time here, how we got the name Halloween. So November 1st is All Saints Day, which you could translate into All Holy Day. And so that's where we get All Hallow Day. And the day before All Hallow Day is All Hallows Eve. And then that just comes down through time into the thinking of Halloween. So we have All Hallows Eve becomes Halloween. And so on our next segment, we're going to give you the history of Halloween, since it's that time of year. So hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you again. Bye.